Hey guys, y'all see that? 66,000 miles. Now guys, this is a 2012 Jeep Liberty. Okay, when the last time you seen one of those in the shop? Now I want you to be careful about something, guys. I try to warn people of this all the time. This lady come in for a tune-up. Now how many people do that? What you need to get out of this customer is, are you having any problem? Do not just blindly go into a car screwing in spark plugs. That could burn you. Okay, she likely thinks she's have some type of problem that a tune-up will fix. Okay, keep in mind, a tune-up is simply spark plugs. That's all we do nowadays to perform a tune-up, replace spark plugs. Not like the old days where you checked a lot of things. No, we just replace some spark plugs. So if she have any kind of other problems, just spark plugs alone may not fix that. Now here's a unique thing about this 3.7 V6 engine. Y'all see this? Yes, it's V6, which means it's 2 banks, right? 6 spark plugs. How many coils do you see? 1, 2, 3 only. You don't see no coils over here. All right, this is a short video. On the full video, we're gonna talk about this ignition system. All right, this is 2012 Jeep Liberty with a freaking 3.7. Now guys, the reason for the holdup was we didn't have any spark plugs in stock. Okay, yeah, they insisted on getting some Mopar spark plugs. Go figure. Well, anyway, look, I got 6 now, right? This is a V6. Look, I opened one out of this Mopar box. As you can see, it says NGK. So technically, they could have went down the street, AutoZone, got some NGK spark plugs using the same number. Okay, not the Mopar number. So they would have to look their version of this engine up, and you would have came up with the exact same spark plug. Okay, guys, y'all know I play a lot. Okay, I don't get caught up in the name of the actual part, as long as manufacturer gave it the thumbs up to go. Okay, yes, they're not gonna, Mopar don't make spark plugs. However, they use spark plug companies to produce spark plugs for their vehicles. This situation here, right? So they chose NGK for this model back in 2012. Yeah, so NGKs will work because it's technically an NGK spark plug, but Mopar no car, baby. Now that's what the holdup was. So this lady is a waiter, and we literally waited for some spark plugs to get here. Now, so let's get this thing done. Remember what we do in tune-up. Remember what I told you on this shorts video. Be very careful of somebody that come into your shop and only want a tune-up. Unless they really maintenance minded, meaning they are maintenance conscious. Okay, yeah, they thinking, man, I ain't never had a tune-up. This car got 60,000 miles. I think it's time. Unless it's one of those, then yeah, be extremely careful, guys, because there are customers out there that ride around, look, and will feel a bump, boom. Oh my goodness, what was that? I don't know what it was. You know what? I don't think I ever had a tune-up. I probably just need a tune-up. And they'll go into a shop and get them to do a tune-up, not telling them any symptoms or any problems. And the shop would blindly just put spark plugs in because that's what they told and paid to do. And the customer leave and come right back and say, my car's still doing the same thing. Well, you never mentioned your car doing anything. And here's the thing. So let me talk a little bit. I think a lot of customers do that to get out of paying diagnostic time. Okay, guys, I know, what is it, $200 now? In some shops is more. Diagnostic time. You're not doing yourself any favors by trying to wiggle out of that. Okay, as opposed to you going in and demanding we do a tune-up. So let's do a scenario right here. Just say you got a coupon for a tune-up. The coupon said $150. All right, so you just pull out of thin air that's what my car need. That's why it's bucking. I guarantee you that's what it is. And I got this coupon. All right, so this coupon that you have for $150 is a lot cheaper than the typical diagnostic charge of $200 or $215 or whatever the diagnostic charge is now. So naturally, from a math standpoint, you're gonna go with your gut feeling, again, assuming that all you need maybe is spark plugs. Take that $150 coupon and go in and say, I just need this. I want to do this. And the advisor or whoever writes you up going to say, sure, okay, is there anything else you need? Are you having any problem? Because I made sure they asked that. Do you have any problem? They said no, but they have a coupon. So something may clash. All right. So, but that is a way around a $200 diag charge. If you got a coupon, I just want that. But you take away the responsibility of the mechanic. I'm kind of okay with this. I'm going to get the same amount of labor. I'm just going to screw in spark plug with no worry at all as far as if that will fix anything, because I didn't diagnose anything. I'm literally a parts changer right now. I'm changing spark plug. All right, I hope all that made sense. Okay, so now what we talked about in the shorts video, this ignition system. All right, it's a name for this. Notice you only see 3 coils for a V6 engine, and I want to take one of these coils out. Actually, let me get these spark plugs in, and it's gonna be hard for me to speak. I don't have my mic speak and work at the same time, so let me get these spark plugs in, guys, and we'll talk some more. Okay, spark plugs. Remember, no coils on this side, so just grab you a pair of pliers with the circle on it. I don't know the proper name of it, and pull up. And of course, once you get the coil, the bolts out of the coil, where's it at? Right here. Then you just pull that up, and then of course go for the spark plugs. All right. So let me show y'all how I remove. Just in case you're getting ready to do one, you're familiar with what's going on. I hate going into anything blindly. All right, let me grab my pliers. Ta-da! All right, y'all ready? Let's get it. Alright guys, here's the old spark plug. Now here's what I want to stress. Alright, when you're replacing spark plugs, I need you guys to really analyze these spark plugs and the condition in which they are in. These can tell you a lot about your engine. Okay, for instance, there was black deposits around this spark plug. One could assume you have some trouble going on in your engine. Alright, we don't really want that. Alright, so don't just take your spark plugs out and trash them. Take a look at them, analyze them, and see if there's anything you need to be concerned with integral to your engine. And these are new spark plugs. Okay, yes, same kind, same brand. In fact, are these the original spark plugs? Yeah, NGK. All right, so I'm going in with new NGKs, original. All right, the OEM approved spark plugs. Now, I don't care. This is me, guys. I don't care what I discuss my opinions on my channel. Okay, I'm still one of those old school guys that check the gap of the spark plug. So if you don't know what your gap is, look in the book and find out exactly what it is, and make sure the spark plugs that you're gapping or you're about to install actually fall into that category. Sure, some guys are good enough to just eyeball it and go from there. If you're not a pro, or if you're training, or if you're enthusiast, I suggest you do this the right way. Okay, because this matter. Properly gapped spark plugs matters. Okay, so now these, I'm doing one bank at a time. All right, so I'm doing this bank right here. Got these 3 out. Got getting ready to install the new ones. Okay, now you saw me using a ratchet removing the spark plugs. To me, I see no problem with that, but I got to be aware of who watches these videos. Some people are fairly sensitive. To them, that was wrong. Removing the spark plugs with a speed drill is wrong to them. I'm not going to belittle anybody's concern. So now going back in, I tend to use just a typical ratchet. Okay, I will not use a speed drill or my impact. No, never impact spark plugs in. Okay, but I see no problem with using a speed drill to remove them or install them, just not to the point where you're about to torque them down, because there's a torque specs to this. Do everybody use a torque wrench? Absolutely not. I'm just alerting you that there is such a thing that should be a concern to you. All right, so let me get these spark plugs back in so we can proceed. So here's another reason why I was a little weary about just merely screwing in spark plugs, because this coil here is semi new. Okay, so I don't know if somebody been chasing a misfire in cylinder. This is cylinder 1, guys. Y'all know how to determine where cylinder 1 on a V engine, at least from a Chrysler standpoint. Cylinder 1 is always the cylinder up closest to the front. In this case, 2, 4, and 6, because it's back farther than here. This cylinder 1. Now, but this ignition coil setup, the secondary ignition setup on this 3.7 liter engine is pretty unique. It only uses 3 coils. I just said it's a V6, right? So that means these coils carry double duty. It will fire off 2 cylinders at the same damn time. That's right. If you look at this connector, there's only 2 terminals in there. You only have room for 1 ground and 1 power supply. So I'm assuming this is duty cycled ground from the PCM. I'm assuming ASD automatically powers 1 pin through the ASD. Y'all familiar with the ASD system, automatic shutdown relay system? It fires off a lot of things, or it turns on a lot of things. It keeps constant 12 volts on a lot of things, and usually car makers will use ground to duty cycle from a particular module, in this case the PCM. So duty cycle in this, when timing dictates it's time to fire off this cylinder. Okay, this is cylinder 1, like we said. If I had to guess, what cylinder is this shared with? All right, it's firing off 2 cylinders at the same time. Let's follow this wire. Cylinder 1 shared with cylinder 4. Okay, so cylinder 1 and cylinder 4 will fire off at the same time. The good news is, if you need coils, you don't have to buy 3. All right, I assume that was good technology back then. Remember, this is a 2012 model. Yeah, so yeah, I figured I'd speak on that before I put all this back together. And I'm done, guys. I'm gonna wrap this video up. I'm gonna put that coil in. I'm gonna start it up. I'm gonna scan it, see if anything going on. I'm gonna go test drive it, make sure, just test drive it, because that's what I do. And then we're done at that point if everything turned out all right. If I find anything, I will let the customer know and then go from there. All right, that's all I have, guys. Thanks for tuning in to JT the Car Guy Online Mechanic Tips.